Hi Raquel, thank you for your submission. I really appreciate what you've done here. I think you've really turned this assignment into something very creative and very worthwhile for the student. I highlighted areas and made some comments, and let me go through those with you. I really like what you said. You chose to think a different way. And as you look further, when you looked at some of your challenges, feeling it's kind of lightweight, I understand that. Sometimes when we stray from the way we've normally done things, we wonder if it has the veracity and the academic rigor that we think it should, because it isn't arduous to grade. But we'll come back to that. Like you did a self-assessment for the student and your own rating scale. And I like the fact that you're giving students dual ownership here, and the students have agency. And I like the fact that they have to answer the question, can you tell what the student, here's what they did? And if your overall goal is to have them teach this movement, I think you're definitely on the right track here. I think your measured objective, recognize, evaluate, interpret, and I used that to look to see if it was included in your assignment, and of course it is very well. They must choose or recognize a 20th century movement, and they will explain, which is the interpretation and evaluation. But then you also, to be able to teach it to someone else, and I think that ratchets it up. I don't think this is a lightweight assignment at all. In fact, I think it's very good, because it doesn't just allow them to show that they understand it, it takes them to the level where they have to present it in a way that another can understand it. And I like that your infographic, what it includes. I think it really covers the three movements of your measured objective, the LO3 here, because they have to name, define, they have to tell the characteristics, countries in the Hispanic world where it's found, names of writers, titles. This is a very involved piece that these students are doing with this infographic. And I even like that you have some optional information there. And I'd be anxious, and I bet a lot of students actually include that. Now, with your assessment tools, I think the self-assessment and then your rating scale, I think they're really good. I really, really liked your self-assessment questions. I think these are outstanding. What I like most is this first one. I like them all, but how well do you feel you did on this project? That's a nice open-ended reflection question that allows the student to talk about their performance, and it's teaching them to talk about their performance, not and then how was the difficulty level of this project. I don't know that I would include that, maybe initially, but I don't know if I would keep that as a long-term question, because just by asking the question, it's almost asking them, do you think this was too hard? And I don't know, I have mixed feelings on that question. Do you feel you could explain to someone else what you did, what your topic was all about? I think they could, because that's essentially what the subject, that was the whole purpose of this. So maybe how well do you think you explained this, or something along those lines? Because the whole objective of this is for them to teach someone else about it. So you want to assume that they were able to do that, and maybe ask them how well they think they did it. And how do you feel about having a web-based app to complete this project? Maybe like, what were the pros and cons of this? And then what have you learned from this experience? Great opening, closing questions as well. And to your point, do you think that your Likert questions here are enough? I think they're spot on, because your questions are asking, you're reflecting, and you're going to provide a grade on exactly what you asked them to do. But touche, I totally understand right here, where you talked about a potential challenge, like, does this feel lightweight, right? Like, shouldn't it be this arduous task? I think it's a very spot-on assessment, and I don't think it has to be arduous. In fact, I think it could be enjoyable and good. Up there in the challenge for students, they may not have had this type of assignment with you, but an infographic and the way you're having them carry out this assignment is very pertinent to the outcome. And I have a feeling they'll probably enjoy trying this new tool, much as we do when we try a new tool. When we're successful at it, you want to make sure that you have good onboarding with instructions and good help if they get stuck. and maybe recommend, because this Bubble Us isn't a hard program to download or use. But I think this is a very good assignment, and I think you'll have very good results with this. Thank you very much for your submission.